fucking so many wrestlers have ever done. I'm not dogging him, but he is not in the best shape since he's been to fucking WWE, let alone his career. Shut up, JR. I love you.
He's definitely let himself. He's been to too many steakhouses.
A few too many. I think he needs to quit going to those steakhouses, I think.
We need an intervention. An intervention. No, my big issue with this was when Hangman Page, I get it was for story to get the back from when Chris Jericho did it to him, but when Hangman Page spun around at him with the elbow and it didn't bust him open, so Chris went out and bladed, but he didn't blade very well, and so they sat there trying to get it to bleed as good as Dustin bled, but it wasn't going to happen, and the whole thing was just stupid. You shouldn't have bladed. I don't want to see you blade at every big event. I should not expect one spot. You use it when it matters.
If you'd have bladed during the Cracker Barrel match or the ladder match, that would have been cool.
Yeah, but Chris Jericho does not need to blade.
No,
he might have wanted to blade. You tell him it's not a good...
in certain circumstances.
I was tacky, tasteless, and had no point in this match whatsoever.
Unnecessary, and it didn't help.
Work. It didn't work at all.
No, it didn't. It did not help. It did not work.
He wanted to be wearing a scarlet mask. He barely bled. They tried so hard, and it wasted a lot of time.
Yeah, it bled. It bled like a cheap, hard way. Like when somebody accidentally hits your nose too hard. I think they were
hoping for a hard way. Honestly, I think they were hoping he hit him with the elbow enough to actually bust him open.
Right. I do want to, before we get to the end, I do want to end the match on this note for myself, Pasty. Jericho being the first champion, was this safe? And I'm just going to say it right here. Correct.
It was right.
Call.
Yeah.
I said they were going to pick Paige. I wouldn't have been pissed if they would have picked Paige. But when
probably still would have been the correct call.
when you're going onto national TV, we talked about this last week when we were talking about who it's going to be. There's no reason not to have somebody know. And Jericho is
if you could get Hulk Hogan to be your first champion, you do it in a heartbeat.
You do it. Yeah, you do it.
It's the prestige.
He is the biggest name there. He's bigger than Cody. He's bigger than anybody. So, and everybody's done it. When earlier today, I was going to go through and check out the first champions of each promotion, and I cannot, and I'm sorry. But I know, Ken Shamrock for TNA, Ring of Honor had an old school guy as first one. I know when NWA turned to WCW, I think Ric Flair was their first champion, and he wasn't young at the time. You do that because you have to get name recognition. It's all about commercial. It's all about the money. I'm sorry. Oh, Pasty, we've gone way over, but we're not done yet with this pay-per-view. We still have a few things to talk about. So first of all, Pasty won the pay-per-view.
I did.
He's won every single AEW fucking pay-per-view.
I guess that makes me the AEW champion, doesn't it?
I think all of them, if not most of them, were only by one.
Pretty close.
And maybe one was even by a tiebreaker. I'm not sure. Best match of the night, Pasty?
Definitely the ladder match.
Oh, Escalera de la Muerte.
Yes.
I loved it. Total grade for this pay-per-view, Pasty.
I'm going B+. It was a good, I liked it. I liked the ride. I mean, you know me, I don't fully check into a pay-per-view. I'm just existing around it for the most part. But I enjoyed my time with it. And yeah, solid B+.
I went through and I graded every match. I averaged out my match grades and I came to a B. But with some of the issues that weren't match related, I had to knock it down. I'm going to make it a B-.
And I would be a mess if we didn't bring up the fact that they had the first women's referee in a world championship match.
Thank you. I was just, when we got into the final shit, I was going to say that. And I mentioned that to my son, and I think it's cool that I think this generation didn't realize that was a big thing. It shouldn't
be a big thing.
Because I mentioned it to my son. I was like, I almost called my son Pasty. I should. I was like, Phantom. One thing that's awesome about AEW, they have a woman who is refereeing the main event of a match between two males. And he was like, so? I was like, no other wrestling company does that. I said, most wrestling companies don't have any female refs. And the ones that do are only for female matches.
Gotta give credit to NXT where they come and play because they beat them to it. But
do the females do some male matches on that one?
Yeah, I think that the female referee from NXT, she's done a couple of male matches, I think.
Has she done the main event? That isn't
I don't think it's a main event, but I'm just saying they got the female referee in the mix before AEW was a thing.
They got the female on males before, I'll give them that, which is not a Pornhub reference. But the main event thing's pretty huge, too. So, yeah, that makes it a B average, and I think B average is okay. Not bad at all, considering what we've seen from some people. Now, Pacey, here's something that I want to get in here semi-quick, and I want you to retort on your opinions, and I'll give my opinions.
All right.
We might go long, but fuck it. We can. The news is going to go quick.
Yeah.
I got some numbers for you, Pasty, and going into this, I just want to say it seems like the honeymoon is over for AEW, but not in a negative way. It's not like, oh my God, nobody's going to watch AEW again. But I felt it was worth noting some of these numbers. So, numbers here, Pasty. Pay-per-view buys. Pay-per-view buys for All Out were down 20% from Double or Nothing, their last pay-per-view that they sold.
Well, everybody knows about the websites that you can watch it for free. I think, you know, everybody's on the excitement train. More people bought it at first, obviously.
Yep.
Doesn't help that some of these websites have it to where you can actually watch it while it airs live.
Yep. Oh, yeah, that's easy. Most of them do. Also, you could argue BR Live. A lot of people do BR Live. BR Live views were down 10% from Double or Nothing. So not as big. So people are watching BR Live, but they were down also. Fight TV numbers, Pasty, they were down, although there's not an actual released amount at this time. The report that I've found from multiple sites is that Fight TV numbers were down. Don't know the percentage. If you look at the 20 and the 10, you're going to assume it's probably between 20 and 10. I mean, that just makes sense.
I mean, you also got to look at the fact it was the second biggest holiday travel weekend of the year, so.
Yeah. For both TV, pay-per-view, and BR Live viewings combined, an estimated 46% of fans who ordered All Out had also ordered Double or Nothing. Now, that means that an estimated 54% of fans did not order All Out who had ordered Double or Nothing. So basically, in layman's terms, less than half the people who ordered Double or Nothing actually followed through and ordered All Out after seeing Double or Nothing. So there was a drop-off, a substantial amount of drop-off. Whether that's people pooling their money together and watching it together, whether that's people watching it, like you said, on other sites because they can't afford to buy every single one of them. Whatever it is, that's kind of a substantial drop, that less than 50% of the people that ordered All Out actually, or who ordered Double or Nothing actually ordered All Out. And one thing that is big, because this is where wrestling makes their money, All Out drew a solid crowd of 10,500 fans to the Sears Center Arena, which is just outside of Chicago. The All In pay-per-view, which was their original big one, right? That was in the exact same arena. That drew 11,263 fans as a sellout. Not a huge difference, but
the lineup was usually different.
Yeah, and as a business, you would hope that you gain fans each time you come back to an arena rather than lose fans. Now, I know I'm going to get people who may not be savvy in business saying, Fat Mac, you said that they went to the same arena in the same town and they were both sellouts. They can't be different numbers. Yes, they can. What happens is you have a number of seats, you sell them out. As soon as you sold them
that's sellout.
You get, that's sellout. Then you put out platinum seats. Then you put out VIP.
They clear the
then you put out
area.
ringside. Then you put out this. Then they open up this. Then they take away this table. Then they add this. The more people that are willing to buy, the more seats they
can make
add.
room, yeah.
they'll fucking hang you from the fucking rafters and let you float over the ring if you're willing to pay enough money.
Some arenas, they'll have overflow rooms for you.
Yeah, it's SRO, standing room only. It's called SRO. So, yes, there were more people after they sold out who wanted to see All In than All Out. That makes sense, though, because All In was the very first ever thing. It was not a company, and people wanted to promote the Bucks and Omega and
we
Cody.
Just wanted to see a one-off thing do something massive.
So that does make sense, but it's just it's kind of telling.
I think
to
the
see
biggest
that
thing though is it's the holiday weekend where most people are out of town from Thursday to Monday. So having a pay-per-view that weekend is not a good idea in the first place.
That's got to be part of it. Honestly,
that's why WWE doesn't do it.
But I also think that maybe the honeymoon season is over and we're going to see a little bit of a drop as it comes, and that's normal. You expect that.
I mean, TV's right around the corner. That's the next thing is TV. And I think as soon as it's on TV, it's going to pick right back up.
We'll see. I actually don't think so because I think people are more willing to wait and watch it on TV. But that's my opinion. Could be wrong. Just thought it was an interesting note.
So yeah, that was our all-out results. And now we're coming into this week's Weekly Elite Dirt Sheet. Let's get dirty, baby. And our top story, of course, is the top story on everybody's minds this week. The case of the missing championship belt title Extreme. Well, it's been resolved. But in case you haven't heard the news, Chris Jericho lost the AEW title just hours after winning the inaugural belt.
Oh, no!
But it wasn't Hangman Page, Jon Moxley, or Marco Stunt. No, it was...
It wasn't Marco Stunt?
No. He couldn't carry it. We already went through that earlier. It's too heavy.
Oh, yeah, too right.
No, it was some random thief at a restaurant. Allegedly.
Or was it?
Tallahassee, Florida police reported that Jericho apparently had the title go missing while he was eating dinner inside a Longhorn Steakhouse at 2400 North Monroe Street.
This is killer
it's
publicity
not Omaha
for the old
Steaks,
Longhorn.
and that's why it happened. Police were called, and an investigation was launched. The police blotter read as follows. The victim, Christopher Jericho Irvine, is that his middle name?
Yes.
Reported the theft of his championship wrestling belt while he was eating inside the Longhorn Steakhouse. The victim stated he arrived at the Millionaire Club Airport Terminal.
Oh, it must be rough.
A little bit of the bubbly. And placed the belt inside his rented limousine. The limo driver shuttled the victim to Longhorn for dinner. The victim remained at Longhorn while the limo driver returned to the airport. The victim had taken the wrong luggage from the airport, and the driver took it back to the terminal. When the driver picked up the victim from the restaurant, the belt was missing. Responding officers searched the limo and airport for the belt without success. On-call CID, or Criminal Investigation Division, was consulted, and forensics responded to the scene. In the wake of its disappearance, Jericho launched a worldwide investigation using top private investigators to recover his title. Turns out he didn't need those investigators. Instead, it was a 41-year-old Florida State University employee who would find the championship abandoned on the side of the road as he was driving home. Damn it, Vince. In an interview with the Tallahassee Democrat, Frank Price spoke about discovering the title, which was inside a velvet bag in the middle of a turn lane.
Oh, no.
Price, who is not a wrestling fan, recalled opening the bag when he got home and discovering the belt inside. I think I said something like, "Whoa, it's a huge wrestling belt, dude. Check this thing out." He's 41 years old. He probably didn't talk like that. But we're gonna play like he did.
I love it.
I never would have guessed that if I had a lifetime of guesses. At the time, there was nothing in the news about anything being lost or stolen, so we thought it was just a replica or a costume or something like that. Despite questioning, Price had enough texts, emails, receipts, and witnesses and GPS data on his smartphone to prove he was nowhere near Millionaire or Longhorn Steakhouse when the belt first went missing. He even received a $200 reward from Mike Vaughn of Mike's Limousines, the service Jericho was using at the time. The belief is Jericho or the driver just set the bag on the trunk or the top of the limo, and it just fell off.
Fucking Jericho.
I mean, he probably had too much of the bubbly.
Too much of the bubbly. That's fucking pathetic, though.